Rev up your engines!
Mark Billett says, does bad ground driving and potholes cause wheel bearing wear? It sure does. You hit potholes and you hit bad ground all the time, the wheel bearings are going to get jolted. And yeah, they're made out of solid tempered steel, but still, they're going to wear when they hit bumps and jumps. And then, of course, what happens is if your front end alignment gets knocked off and it's going to the side, then that wears the tires. And when they're wearing at an edge, then there's more strain on the bearings inside, and they're going to wear out fast. So yes, you want to stay away from bad roads and potholes whenever possible. Tech Guy Gaming says, I have a 2000 Ford Explorer with 178,000 miles. When it's cold, I hear a belt squeaking. When it's warm, I don't hear anything. Any ideas? When they get old, they make noises. Make sure that they're tight enough. If they are tight, those serpentine belts wear and the grooves actually get deeper, which is a bad thing because they're supposed to sit where the grooves are in the pulleys and they're perfectly set. As the grooves get deeper, then they kind of bottom out and they don't grip right. Just change it. Now, if it still makes a noise after you change the belt, then if you have automatic tensioners, it could be an automatic tensioner, or it could be like the alternator pulley is making a noise only when it's cold. When it warms up, it quiets down. But most of the time, it just means you need a new belt. Start with that because that fixes it almost all the time. Works not for me. Ask Scotty, what are your thoughts on a 2011 Chevrolet Hhr? My opinion is stay away from one if you're thinking about buying a used one. That was one of the worst vehicles that Chevrolet ever made. I don't know what they were thinking when they made those things. I mean, what is it supposed to be? And the customers of mine that had them, they had head gasket problems, they had electronic problems. If they had automatic transmissions, a lot of them had automatic transmission problems. Stay away from the Chevy Hhr. I don't know. I guess they were trying to compete with PT Cruiser type stuff. I don't know. I don't know what Chevrolet was thinking with that vehicle, but it was a massive failure. Junior Linares, Scotty, I got an 05 BMW 330xi, just did 101,000 miles. Is it safe to drain and fill the automatic transmission fluid? I bought it with 98,000 miles. But you do want to change the fluid because very high-tech transmissions. The problem is you got to use the correct BMW fluid. Now do a little research on yours and see what kind of fluid it has. Some of those, you got to go to the BMW dealer because you can't buy the fluid. But one BMW last year, customer wanted me to change the fluid. I saw, well, it's got to have this special BMW fluid. So I go to the BMW dealer and I said, well, sorry, Scotty, we can't sell you that fluid. I said, what do you mean? They said, we buy it in these like 50-gallon drums for thousands of dollars. We can't sell it a quart at a time to you because we're not licensed to resell the stuff. Got to use the right fluid. And if you can't buy that fluid, you're going to have to pay a BMW dealer to do it because they wouldn't sell me the fluid. They said you'd have to buy 50-gallon drums. So find out which one you have to have. Joshua Navarro 84 says, Scotty, what are your thoughts on a 2012 Maserati Quattroporte? Thanks. They're called Quattroportes because they have 4 doors. And they're the only like exotic sports car that has 4 doors on it. In Italian manufacturers. They're Maseratis. Okay, they're fast cars. There's no arguing that. But they're also endless money pits. Now, if you don't mind forking out $127,000 for a car that gets 12 miles a gallon, its value drops faster than the water going over Niagara Falls, go ahead and get it. They go like scalded apes, but they also fall apart like Rodney Dangerfield used to say, like a Chinese motorcycle as they age. So it's your money. If you want to have a unique vehicle that no one else has, and you don't mind throwing money away, go ahead and get one. Bluffington Tiger once says, what's your opinion of the 10-speed automatic tranny designed by Ford and GM? I have one of my 18 Ford F-150 Platinum V8, and I loved them. I thought they shifted fine. I'm not an automatic fan. I like standards myself, but I have to admit that it shifts better than any human being can. I had one. It was in a Ford Expedition. Hey, that thing got 25 miles a gallon on a highway, and that's something for some big, heavy, giant thing. I'm impressed by them, and my customers that have them in their F-150s, they all liked them. The only problem that I saw was they had to reprogram the software on the early ones, and after they did that, I haven't seen any real problems with them. I think it's a very interesting technology. Like I say, the ones that my customers have hadn't had any serious problems yet. You're not going to know until years go on in terms of time and longevity, of course, but they seem pretty rugged from what I've seen.
So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.